What's up everyone, and welcome back to the MMA Zone. Today, let's get started with Strickland disrespects Israel Adesanya. After Israel Adesanya's loss to Dricus du Plessis over the weekend in Perth, Strickland didn't hold back on the former champ. During an appearance on the Verse Us podcast, Strickland spoke about Adesanya, downplaying the last stylebender's skills and his resume inside the octagon. As Strickland explained, he has sparred Kelvin Gastelum numerous times, and as a result, Adesanya going to the distance with the former Ultimate Fighter winner years ago proves his theory that Adesanya was never that good.
So when he fought Kelvin, dude, I think Kelvin sucks. So like everyone's like, oh man, Izzy's this and that. Like, dude, I've sparred Kelvin so many times where I'm like, you kind of had a close fight with Kelvin. Yeah. Like, you're not that good. Like, you're not that good. You fought Costa. Costa was scared of you. You blew on me, fell asleep. Like, is he just not that good?
Really?
The MMA community was quick to weigh in on Strickland's comments, with one fan writing, "Sean held the belt for a whopping 0-fight streak. Maybe he should focus on his own game instead." Another agreed with Strickland, writing, "Damn, I actually do have something in common with Sean. We both know Izzy never really was that good." One member of the MMA community disagreed, writing, "Izzy is literally the best striker in that division to this day. His only weakness is getting taken down. He cleared 185 to the point he went up to 205 and had Jan just lay on him because he didn't want to strike with him. Sean has such bad takes." Another took aim at Strickland directly, writing, "This MFer just talking like he didn't lose to Cannonier, who Izzy smoked. He would not have beaten Romero either. He probably isn't beating Whittaker either. Alex knocked you and Izzy out, but Izzy beat him last time out, whether 3-1 overall or not. Styles make fights, whether one wins or loses." Following Saturday's UFC 305 main event, Strickland is now the next man up for a title fight at 185 pounds, with a highly anticipated rematch between him and Dricus du Plessis expected to take place next year. Next up, let's take a look at Jon Jones fires back at the MMA community. On Tuesday, Jon Jones took to social media to respond to the backlash he's received from fans regarding his inevitable fight with Stipe Miocic. After Jones revealed that he has been thinking about competing at ADCC 2026, fans were quick to shift the conversation back to Tom Aspinall. One fan posted a clip of Aspinall grappling a rugby player, asking Jones' thoughts. Jones responded, writing, "Looks like Tom displaying that amazing UK wrestling. My focus is on Stipe. He actually wrestled Division 1. Best heavyweight of all time, as of right now. Maybe Tom will go on and beat Stipe's record one day. Right now, I'm focusing on GOAT things." When a fan alleged that Jones was making excuses to duck Aspinall, the champion responded, writing, "Haha man, you guys have been really begging me lately. Is the heavyweight division really that boring without me?" Jones then added another post, kicking off a series of posts in which he fired back at the MMA community, writing, "The beautiful thing about being in my position is, I'm not defined by one fight. Most of you grew up watching me win." He then followed it up with another post, writing, "I'm 37 years old now. I've kicked everyone's ass. My job is to finish strong and make an amazing movie. Go join Tom Brady, Floyd Mayweather, and all the other retired badasses." Jones also clarified a recent video that's been going around this week, writing, "I guess there was a video that resurfaced recently of me saying that after Stipe, Francis was the only fight I was interested in. That video was recorded well over a year ago. That was recorded before I got injured, before there was an interim champion crowned. I had already voiced that I wasn't interested in any more randoms. Now magically, I'm ducking a fight that's never been negotiated or discussed at any table that matters. LOL, I'm sticking to my plans. Jon Jones jumps for no one. How many belts does one need? How many times do I have to break my own record?" He then followed it up with another post, writing, "There are fighters literally all over the world that think, in the back of their mind, I can beat Jon Jones. There will be no statues of you. Go out and win more. Make your name greater. That is the only way you do it." When a fan accused Jones of being scared of Aspinall, he responded, writing, "It feels good to know, on the way out, your sport was literally begging you to continue. You never know, maybe the UFC will offer me a deal I can't refuse." After one fan argued that a win over Stipe Miocic, who hasn't fought since 2021 or won a fight since 2020, wouldn't prove anything, Jones replied, writing, "Interesting. From my point of view, it seems like an amazing way to finish this good work I started so long ago." The series of posts caught the attention of Tom Aspinall, who wrote, "Wonder if it was that video or my fighting that retired him. Please make sure you pass me the belt on the way out of the octagon if you beat Biden." While Dana White has previously stated that he hopes the winner of the Jones-Miocic fight will stick around to unify the belt, it sounds as though Jones' sights are set on retirement unless the UFC makes him an offer he can't refuse. Next up, let's take a look at Robert Whittaker talks about Dricus du Plessis' fighting style. While Dricus du Plessis was able to get the job done on Saturday night in Australia, many members of the MMA world have continued to weigh in on the champ's unorthodox fighting style. While du Plessis may not be the best in his division at any one particular skill, he has shown that he's incredibly well-rounded and able to get the job done regardless of where the fight takes place. On the heels of du Plessis' win over Israel Adesanya, Whittaker spoke on his MMA Arcade podcast to discuss the champ's fighting style, explaining that while DDP may not be an incredibly technical fighter, the results can't be denied.
The dude's tough as nails. He is so awkward and cumbersome to watch, man. But he gets it done. He makes it work. Like, mate, like he runs at you, throwing punches like you stole something from him, right? And man, like it works. Okay, it works. I don't know how else to sum him up, right? Yeah. He's like, he would fit perfectly in a pub anywhere in Sydney.
Whittaker is currently set to fight Khamzat Chimaev in Abu Dhabi at UFC 308, after Chimaev was forced out of their previously scheduled bout in Saudi Arabia. Should the Reaper get the victory, he will be next in line for a crack at the middleweight crown. Next up, let's take a look at Belal Muhammad receives warning from UFC fighter. After winning the welterweight title, Belal Muhammad made it clear that he wants to defend the title against the best fighters the division has to offer, name-dropping Shavkat Rakhmonov and Kamaru Usman as potential opponents. Despite that, streaking contender Jack Della Maddalena recently put the champion on notice. While his sights are set on a fight with a top contender, JDM put Belal Muhammad on notice while speaking to fans at the UFC 305 Fight Week Q&A.
I think 2025 Belal's going down. Yeah, I think I'd put it down, pretty early on. 91, no doubt.
The comments caught the attention of Belal Muhammad, who responded on social media, referencing JDM's 2023 win over Basil Hafez, writing, "Didn't this guy get taken down 50 times by someone that took the fight on 3 days' notice?" So far, no word yet as to when JDM will be back in action after undergoing surgery and battling an infection following his win over Gilbert Burns. However, he seems to be just one win away from a potential title shot. Next, let's take a look at UFC updates. On the heels of the recent UFC 305 card in Perth, let's take a look at today's UFC updates, starting with a change to this upcoming UFC Vegas 96 card scheduled for this Saturday. According to reports, Denis Buzukja and Francis Marshall will compete in a lightweight bout after Danny Silva was forced off the card this week. Buzukja will be looking to build on a win over Connor Matthews back in March, while on the flip side, Marshall will be looking to return to the octagon after a year-long layoff amid a 2-fight skid. In addition, the UFC is reportedly shaking things up for their UFC Edmonton card, which is scheduled for November 2nd. The promotion had previously announced the fight between Derek Lewis and Alexander Romanov as the co-main event. However, they have since booked Lewis to fight Jonata Denise, with Romanov now set to fight Rodrigo Nascimento, giving Canadian fans 2 heavyweight fights to look forward to. The following week, Sean Gore and Antonio Trocoli are set to throw down at UFC Vegas 100 on November 9th in a middleweight bout that will see Gore look to build on a win over Josh Fremont, while on the flip side, Trocoli looks to bounce back from a June loss to Shara Magomedov. Last but certainly not least in the way of UFC fight updates, Dustin Jacoby is set to fight Vitor Petrino in a light heavyweight bout at UFC Fight Night Tampa on December 14th, with Jacoby looking to snap a 2-fight skid and Petrino looking to bounce back from the first loss of his professional career back in May. Next up, let's take a look at Mateusz Gamrot breaks silence on UFC loss. This past weekend, Mateusz Gamrot and Dan Hooker went to war in a thrilling clash of styles in Perth. While Gamrot was looking to use his grappling in the stylistic matchup, Hooker was able to sprawl and brawl, defending takedowns while pressuring Gamrot on the feet en route to a split decision win. After the loss, Gamrot took to social media to reflect on the fight, sharing pictures of the fight along with a caption in Polish that reads, "I took a risk which was very high. I made a decision that the majority would refuse. Walking very close to the edge, it's easy to slip. But my road doesn't end there. I will bring you many more emotions, and to be continued." This describes the lyrics of one of the songs perfectly. There's only one road, and I'm never going to lose mine. As we talk about it, you see my eyes burn because it's a passion, not a joke for a few minutes. The loss snapped a 3-fight winning streak for Gamrot, which most recently saw him defeat Rafael dos Anjos prior to his clash with Hooker at UFC 305. So far, no medical suspensions have been released for the card, making it unclear as to when Gamrot will be able to return to action. Up next, let's take a look at Ariel Helwani reveals what's next for his career. Before heading to Paris to cover the 2024 Olympics, Ariel Helwani revealed that he was still in the midst of contract negotiations. This week, Helwani recently took to social media to announce some exciting news about his future, revealing that he's partnering with Yahoo Sports to launch Uncrowned, an all-new combat sports vertical covering MMA, boxing, and pro wrestling. In addition, Helwani will now be back on YouTube as well, bringing fans plenty of new content with friends both new and old.
I am so excited to announce that I have partnered with Yahoo Sports. I'm now part of the Yahoo Sports family. This is a very, very exciting moment for me. This is a huge moment for me because I've talked to a lot of different entities, a lot of different outlets over the last few weeks and months, and a lot of people, presented very generous, very thoughtful offers. Listen to what I wanted, listen to what I wanted to do, listen to, who I wanted to bring with me. And it was a tough decision, but ultimately every time I went back to it, Yahoo was there.
Along with an 11.5-minute video, Helwani also broke down the new deal in the caption, writing, "My show, now finally entitled The Ariel Helwani Show, is expanding. More days, more content, same time, same format. New New York City studio. And here's the deal. I'm coming back to my YouTube channel, my pod feeds. I will own all of my content. Everything will premiere and live on my channels, among other places. I'm the executive producer of the show and the executive editor of the new site. We'll also be launching new boxing and wrestling shows in the coming months too. Oh, and I'm bringing my boys with me, all of them. You'd think I'd leave them behind? Hell no. Some other old friends are joining too." As Yahoo announced on their social media feeds, Helwani's new brand, Uncrowned, will be the ultimate destination for MMA, boxing, and pro wrestling coverage, with the first episode of the Ariel Helwani Show on Yahoo set to take place live from Las Vegas on September 13th, before the UFC 306 card, and the Canelo Berlanga fight on September 14th. Merab Dvalishvili revealed an injury before his fight against Sean O'Malley. In a post on social media, Merab showed a cut above his eye that looked very similar to the cut Charles Oliveira suffered before he pulled out of his fight against Islam Makhachev.
Close your eye.
Everything is good, my friends. It's happening all the time. This is nothing. Just we're getting stitched out and make sure I can continue training tonight, tomorrow, all week. I feel great.
Sean O'Malley posted to social media after and said, "This little effing rat better not pull out, I swear to God." Dana White also reacted to the injury at the Contender Series press conference and was not happy with Merab. Here's what he had to say.
The whole world knows about Merab's cut. He posted it. Our guys are so dumb. It's next level, unbelievable. All the stuff that I talk about boxing, what I will give boxing is when something happens in a camp, man, let me tell you what, it does not leak. Our guys can't wait to throw it up on social media. It's a small cut. It's no big deal, but obviously needed to be posted.
Against a guy like O'Malley, who's a sharpshooter and who's a very accurate puncher, now all of a sudden there's a big target for him.
And why the would you want him to know that? It is next level stupid. Some of these guys are so stupid, it's mind-boggling. It's unbelievable.
Merab fired back at Dana White's comments by posting a video on social media after Dana White's press conference, addressing his cut and all the talk surrounding it. Here's what Merab had to say.
Yo guys, September 14, I'm coming. Sean O'Malley, you are in big trouble, my friend. Stop talking too much, bro. You know I'm dangerous, and then you know what's gonna happen. You already know. I want to tell all these people everything is good. This is my third training session today. I got a little cut today, but this is part of the training. This is nothing. I'm here with my team. Training every day, like I said. This is my third time training session today. I'm here. I'm coming. I'm here in the gym 24/7, guys, and working. You think this little cut's gonna stop me? I don't understand. I guess you guys are weak, and you guys are making excuse. Whoever talking too much.
Top comments. Tom's gonna have 5-year interim title run. Honestly, I don't need to see Hooker versus Poirier. I would like to see Hooker versus Oliveira or Gaethje. John needs to stop ducking Tom. Dana doesn't want Aspinall to fight Jones because Jones would get knocked out in the first round. Jones is hiding behind Dana's dress.